What's up, comic and pop culture fans? This is James from Mint Hunter Comics, and I just recorded this entire video already, only to find out that the comics had too much glare on them from the camera, so I have to reshoot the entire video, and I know all the grades now. There's some really big wins in this bunch, and there's some huge disappointments too. Stay tuned. We're going to start it off with my buddy's copy of Amazing Spider-Man 252. Here's mine. About 2 years ago, we went to a local comic book shop, and the guy was selling two of them $50 each. We both bought one. They both honestly looked like 9.8s. And I gotta tell you, a 9.8 of this book is now hitting like $900. This is a big book. Just 3 years ago, you could get it for $600. Mine came back a 9.6, so he told me, all right, you gotta submit mine. Even if it comes back a 9.4, 9.6, I'd be happy. Well, let's take a look. 9.8 white pages. Am I jealous? Absolutely. But I'm really happy for the dude. I'm really glad he got a 9.8, and I'm still not that upset over my 9.6. Alright guys, next set of keys, we have the first appearance of Ventriloquist and Scarface, and my childhood copy of Vengeance of Bane, first appearance of Bane. Now, I already have a 9.8 of this, but this is a book that if you find, you have to submit. 9.8s tend to go for like $400. Let's check it out. So unfortunately, we got the 9.6, but that's okay. That's still a very solid book. And over here, 9.6. Not terrible. Especially not terrible for the fact that I have read this several times. Like I said, this is my book, so that was pretty cool. Now here's where some bullshit comes into play. I had two copies of these. One was my copy, and I thought it could get a 9.8, but I noticed one thing wrong with it. Very, very small, but still, it was there. I swung an extra 25 at my local comic book shop for another one. That one was flawless, and I submitted both of these back to back, and I kind of wish I separated them because they gave both grades 9.4. You cannot tell me that those are the same grade. I argue that neither of them should have been 9.4, but to put both, I think maybe they got a little lazy or something on me. Luckily, I think they made it up to me here, where some of my key appearances here ended up being pretty great. This was found in a dollar bin. This is Flash 92. The first appearance of Impulse, $1. Well spent. If you find this in the wild, guys, a lot of people don't know what that is. It's in a lot of dollar bin books. It's like a $200 book. You gotta get that. And then we got the first appearance of Captain Carrot. Some guy had this on his wall. He has 10 bucks. I got him down to $6. $6 for the first appearance of Captain Carrot. This is like a $150, maybe $200 9.8 if it gets one. And mine did. That's a 40-year-old book getting a 9.8 found at a flea market, guys. Just a quick little one. I have the whole James Tynion run, and I was missing number 91. So I submitted it, and I did get the 9.8. Pretty happy. Next up, we got Punchlines Cameo and First Appearance. This is the second one I've submitted of this. My first one got the 9.8. This is a first printing, and it's her first cameo. 9.8 white pages. I bought this for $60 on eBay, which unfortunately the word's out. You can't get this book for less than that, honestly. And I did submit it in, which is a huge risk because when you get stuff from eBay, it's probably not a 9.8 a lot of the times. So, well, we got it. Very nice. Now I have the complete Punchline keys in 9.8s. Here's one I already have to get re-slabbed. They put it so cockeyed in the book, but it's a huge one. It's Batman 423. This is Todd McFarlane's only cover for the Batman run. It's a huge book. I think a 9.8 is over $1,000 in this. This has no flaws in it. I checked it a million times over. Even now in the holder here, looks perfect. So why then did they give me a 9.2? Guys, I don't know about this. If that really is a 9.2, that's the best 9.2 I've ever seen. I think they graded me a bit harshly. I'm going to be a bit honest here. With that first appearance of spoiler, and now this. I mean, I understand not getting a 9.8, and like maybe not getting a 9.6. 9.2? No. Alright, next up we got a key. First appearance of Cassandra Kane, Batgirl. She's my favorite Bat family member, actually. But you want to talk about a book that's gone cold? This used to be a $400 book just 3 years ago. Now, you can actually get it occasionally for under $200. Maybe it's because of her portrayal in that terrible Birds of Prey movie? I don't know, but wow. Talk about doing my girl dirty. Speaking of doing me dirty, didn't get the 9.8. Luckily, this was my book. I didn't spend much on it 10 years ago or whatever, so I was happy to submit it, and I'm still happy to get a 9.6 on this. I'm not happy about this. Second appearance of Cassandra Kane in a 9.4. These are the types of book, guys, that you need a 9.8. It's not a key, it was a huge risk submitting it, and it's a risk that did not pay off. Alright, next two books. These are both very different. One of them I thought could get the 9.8, but I was worried it might get off-white pages. This was a dollar bin find at a flea market. Mr. Miracle 1, the 80s one, not the 70s one. And unfortunately, not only did it get off-white pages, but it got a 9.0. Might keep that one as a reader. I might crack that slab and just keep it in the collection. And next, this is Batman 600. I love Ed Brubaker. I love this book so much. It's from such an underrated Batman era. Right before Hush, I call it. It was just a weird pocket of time for Batman. Check it out. Batman vs. Nightwing, key, Batman 600 issue. Very nice. I submitted two books from 1975 because I thought both were essentially perfect. I thought this one was 9.8 worthy, maybe like a 9.6 here. Considering how nice they were and from the time period, I had to submit them just to see. I didn't pay much for them either. This one was hoping for a 9.8, got a 9.2. Same deal as that Batman 421. If this is a 9.2, it's the best I've ever seen. This is flawless. There's nothing on the corners, nothing on the spine. I don't know. You don't typically get grader's notes for a 9.2, so it's just a mystery of why this got so low of a grade. And then here's this abomination. 7.5 off-white to white pages. Here's the deal. I don't submit books unless I think they're essentially going to get a 9.6 or better. So this is a huge upset. It is a black cover, so I took a risk. There are 2 spine ticks I found, but other than that, I'm going to have to check out the grader's notes because 2 spine ticks does not equate a 7.5. Like I said, guys, I think they graded me harshly on this one. Maybe you guys remember it, but I submitted my Batman and Robin Adventures books from the 90s. There's 25 issues. I submitted about 16 of them. They all got the 9.8. So I decided, all right, let me submit the remaining ones and see how I do. Number 1 wasn't in my collection, so I didn't know if it was going to be this high quality. I had to buy this at a comic book shop for like $5. Didn't make the grade, quite literally. And over here, also didn't. I actually found this to be more disappointing because this is the first one out of my actual collection that didn't get the 9.8, so that was a bummer. This one, kind of what I expected, to be honest. Next up we got 7 and 9. And the 7 also got a 9.6. If you say so, CGC. It's interesting that all of my others from this line got a 9.8. They were untouched. I just find it hard to believe that there's 9.6s there. That's what they should look like. Alright, 10 and 11, I believe, right? Yeah. Number 10 got 9.8 and 11. 9.8. That's more like it. Next up, we got 12 and 13. So I actually pre-screened 13 a while back on one of my pre-screens, and it didn't get a 9.8. So I pressed it myself and submitted it back, and we got it. So press your books, guys. And number 12, also bringing it in. These are the grades these are supposed to get. 9.8. Next up, 15 and 16. 15, cool Dick Grayson and Deadman cover. We got a 9.8 white pages. And for 16, unfortunately, we got the 9.6. What are you going to do, guys? What are you going to do? All right, guys, last of the Batman and Robin Adventures line, we have 20, 24, and 25. We got 9.8 white pages. 9.6, which is too bad. I like that Poison Ivy cover. Would have been great to get in the 9.8. Look at this bull right here. 8.5. Nope. No. No, this is not an 8.5. Everything in this line got a 9.8 except for 3 9.6s. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, you're going to tell me this is an 8.5? No, you're wrong. CGC, I don't believe it. This is all from the same original collection. I don't know what's wrong with this. I looked at it since it came in. Nothing wrong with the corners. Nothing on the sides at all. So it's either light fingerprints somewhere, or maybe a kid drew inside the book. I don't know. But that was a mega disappointment. Last book here, guys. This is Showcase 93, number 7. It's actually a Nightfall tie-in. And you guys know I collect the Nightfall series, all tie-ins and everything from the 90s. I submitted this in, but I actually got impatient and found one on eBay, a 9.8. So I bought it. This now got the 9.8, and this is actually the one I got from eBay. I actually put my brand new one on my Nightfall wall. So I'm pretty happy this got the 9.8. I actually think that mine was a little bit better centered and a little bit cleaner looking. So pretty happy. Okay guys, that was my 30 CGC books that I got back. I think I did okay. Usually my ratio is like 9 out of 10 books tend to get the 9.8. I got a pretty good eye for it. Today we were more like 50%. So that means a couple things. Either my eye for a 9.8 is getting worse, or I think what really happened is CGC just graded me a little bit harsher. Sometimes they are really loose and you can get away with things. Sometimes they grade you exactly what it's worth. Sometimes they are so harsh that I think they grade for things that aren't even there. I think that happened with this submission, guys. Regardless, I'm mostly happy, so I will continue to submit to CGC. I'm not stopping anytime. But guys, thanks so much for watching and keep on collecting.